Welcome, everyone.
Hello, welcome.
So,
Hello.
Hello.
I'm just waiting a minute so that all founders can come. Malik entered the room, so I
yeah,
admitted. Okay. So let me share my screen. So welcome to our legal and equity session. Today we have three guests, Hisham, Rainer, and Caner, from different regions. Hisham from the MENA region, Rainer from Estonia, and Caner is from both Turkey, but also he represents the US incorporation side as well. So here is the agenda. We'll have mentor presentations, about 10 minutes, 15 minutes-ish. Then we'll jump into the hot seat pitches. Today we have three founders to pitch. Mentors will give feedback and also score you. And then if you have any questions to our legal mentors, you can ask any question to them. Remember, they are legal mentors, so you need to express your idea very simple.
very
Okay.
nice. Yeah.
So I think we can begin. So Hisham, are you ready to
Okay.
present?
Yes,
Can we?
I am ready.
Okay. Can we start with you?
Hi, everyone. I'm Hisham Kassim, the managing partner of Kassim Legal. Since we only have 10 minutes, I made a folder called FI Turkey. Here you'll find the PowerPoint that covers the four main topics most founders ask about: where to register, how to structure, what you should have in your founder agreement, what is a safe, how do you calculate a safe, and what are ESOPs. It's pretty long, so we can't go through all of it. But in addition to that, we also do a bit of math. So if any of you are looking at raising a seed round or safe round, this Excel sheet has all the formulas built in. So you can plug in the founders, you can plug in your safe round, and you can start simulating conversions, right? So we can go through this maybe during the Q&A. And I also dropped in a bunch of guides for you guys. So this one is a guide for founders to fill out. So it's like your prenup. Think of it as your prenup. What is each founder doing? Who should sit on the board? What are the divesting schedules? What are the reserved matters? So you could look at that. We have what it costs to register in Delaware, ESOP guides, how much you should grant. So I think we can make all of this available, right? Believe this folder link. So
Yes, we can share it.
there's
Thanks
also
for
this
all
guide.
those resources.
There's also this guide that compares where to register between Delaware, Cayman, BVI, ADGM, which ADGM is a jurisdiction in MENA. It's called the Abu Dhabi Global Market. And then the pros and cons and the cost. And sorry, I'll be done soon. These are the various types of convertible instruments like convertible notes, safe, KISS. I don't know if you guys remember the KISS, but it was popular 10, 15 years ago. Before that, we had the convertible note. Now it's the safe, and this sort of compares each one side by side so you could see what the differences are. Right now, everyone uses the safe. So that's just what most of you will use. And then we have some US specific tax guidance because I know even in Turkey, many startups still register in the US. So there's always tax questions on US related tax questions. So we have one for the company, which is what US companies have to pay in terms of tax. And we have another one for investors in a US company and what are their obligations. I'll stop there. And this has our contact info. Oh, and 2 templates. We have more. There's an NDA and a safe if you want to use it. But yeah, those are, I tried to put as much resources as possible because we only have 10 minutes. So you'll have to download it and read it on your own. That is my presentation. Thank you.
Great, thanks. Thanks for the templates and resources, Hisham. It would be very useful for our founders, especially for the NDA part as well. We frequently ask a template for the NDA as well. So, Rainer, maybe we can continue with you.
Sure. Likewise, I'm not going to also hit the boring PowerPoint presentation or worse. So I'm going to dig into it. I'm Rainer. I'm the CEO and attorney at law at Wyden, Estonia. We are a Baltic law firm, which means that there is a really, really dark, at this moment, corner in Europe, just below Finland, where there are 3 countries with really weird languages and quite specific culture, but who are extremely open to different cultures because we are in a unique position where if we go 100 kilometers north, 100 kilometers west, 100 east, 100 south, we have different cultures. So we are used to talking to people who don't speak our language. We're used to working with people who think differently. And that's why we have built in Estonia a society that is partially digital. So this means that everybody can become e-residents, meaning that you can go to your local Estonian embassy and start a process where you become a e-resident, and you will get a digital or actually a physical card with a chip that gives you a identity which can be used inside European Union and more technically in Estonia, where you can establish a company, transfer shares, talk to the local tax authority and so forth. And with just one challenge, which is these days everywhere in Europe, of creating a bank account, you can, especially from the corporate side, do anything you would like to do in European Union. And also, like, if you have to incorporate the company for the Founder Institute within a month, then likely the whole shebang of establishing a company in Estonia is too much, especially from the perspective of the bank account. From the company establishment process, it can be done in 5 minutes, actually. We've done it quickly. We've done it also in 2 weeks because there were some extra things that were necessary. But I guess the fastest we've done it is like 4 minutes or something like this. So easy. But bank account, really important. KYC, AML, blah, blah, blah. Boring stuff, but necessary. So it can be your window to Europe through a subsidiary, for example. From a wider perspective, if I would have to give you some piece of advice, it is that when you are founding a startup and going into business, then when I talk to founders, then the most critical question I ask them is, if you have raised your first round, what was the biggest unexpected cost, and 80% of them say legals, and the way lawyers think is always focusing on legal perfection, because the bar associations require perfection. So lawyers have this vocational disease of overcomplicating and building a bank where they should be building a simple mug. To take this into account, you have to, in some sense, work against your lawyer and ask, what's the minimum that we can do? What are the legal minimum viable products that I need? And I'm going to tell you what the minimum viable products that you need are. First, where you need to be really, really specific and you need something good in place is equity. So all the assets you can get from Hisham's file, good stuff. If you're establishing the subsidiary in Estonia as a window to Europe, then there's a website, startupestonia.com, or it's simply Startup Estonia, and you will find it. There you will have the Estonian VCA's standard documents. Everybody uses them. They take care of most of the stuff. However, keep in mind that they are investor friendly, not startup friendly. Investor friendly, not startup friendly. Now, the other important aspect that you have to consider from the beginning always, and strive towards being more strict than not strict, is intellectual property, because any good startup is intellectual property heavy. Ideas are nothing. Code is everything. Ideas are nothing. Trademarks are everything. So you have to be thinking about who has created what and if you own it. So if you start something as a side hustle for your company while working at the company, and then get an investment 2 million into it, and then the second round investors will ask that, hey, so we want to make sure that you own the whole IP that you've created, and then you find out that, oh, oops, the IP actually went to my employer. It's a bad thing to be in. And third, one big blunder that we see where you cannot be over focused, and you need to be focused on, is if your business idea requires any licenses or permits to operate. So anything fintech most likely needs a license. So if you're taking care of somebody else's money, and if you start the business and already do some transactions without the necessary licenses, then you might end up starting a dead project because you might be tied down with criminal proceedings. So not good. So if you're doing anything that would require licensing, do it properly. And perhaps the fourth that people sometimes miss, where you have to look into and be bigger than yourself, is ethics. So if you start a startup while doing real data testing and start with a huge data leak because you simply wanted to have a quick solution and didn't care about the people whose data you were working on, then this will likely have long-term negative impacts. So, for example, in Estonia, we had this huge data leak of a company that was really, really successful in processing genetic data. And they actually didn't get too much of a fine from the Data Protection Authority because there were loopholes. However, they lost within a year 50% of their revenue. So you cannot undo certain things, and keep that in mind. So I guess my 10 minutes are done. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I will link the Startup Estonia templates to the chat.
Great, Rainer. I'm an e-resident of Estonia and established my company in Estonia. It's really easy to establish until you get the ID card. It's about 3 months. 3 months, Alperen?
Yeah,
Or
approximately
1 month?
3 to maximum 4 months, I guess.
Yeah.
But creating the company, 5 minutes, as Rainer said.
Yeah, as you said. So you talked about the protecting the IP. In what situations can a CTO and a co-founder legally own the IP instead of a company?
This might be something that you can do and likely before you have established the company. The CEO and CTO most likely own the IP. If they do not work for the company, nor they have agreed on a founders agreement, then the IP vests in them. So the logic is that don't think about IP, think about being poets. So if I am a poet and I write a poem and I do it in a cafe, who is the author and the owner of the poem? I am. Now, if I am a poet who works for a newspaper and the poetry is actually horoscope or something else, then likely the owner of this creation is the newspaper where I'm working at. So it is quite similar. So there needs to be a specific relationship that the IP would vest within the company, or else it doesn't vest in the company. And in the beginning, it might feel like quite nothing, but when you are in a situation where, for example, 3 poets have co-written a poem and they haven't agreed that it belongs to the company, and now one decides to leave and says, I do not care about anything and I don't want anybody else to use my poetry, so now try to buy me out for 5 million or something like this. And then you are in the middle of somewhere where the poem itself is not that much worth. Perhaps it's worth 5,000 euros, not more. But then you have to deal with this bastard, and you don't want to do that. You want this to be clear from the beginning. So for that reason, any kind of founders agreement, even if it's really, really basic, already helps you, because you never know what life brings, and it's better to have a shitty founders agreement than nothing. And this already helps you, because what essentially contracts and founders agreement do is they're like code. You write into the contract that if this happens, then this. If this happens, then this. And yes, there might be too many eventualities that you don't care about or seem like non-practical. But the whole point of having such agreements is to foresee things when they go south.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Rainer. Many co-founders escape signing this founders agreement early on. Yeah, that's the point. So, Janesh.
Yes.
So we can hear you.
Okay, maybe I can take it like I see founders from different jurisdictions, and let's don't be local and talk more general stuff and more important things. I think the previous presentations were great. So I'm not gonna talk about like forming a company, whatever, but like the most important stuff and IP. The IP discussion was important, right? So I can put slide, which is not gonna be that helpful, but still it's a slide, and I know people like to look at slides, so I also like to look at it. So where is it? Yeah. Okay, so there's a okay. You got it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I am a lawyer in US and in Turkey. I have two bar memberships, and we are Igniters Tech Law. Igniters Tech Law actually mostly only works with tech companies and startups and venture capital investors, like angel investor, like in this ecosystem. So this is what we do, and this is how I have been doing for a long time. And we also do a lot of cross-jurisdictional work. So which means like between US and Turkey, a US investor investing a Turkish startup or otherwise, or with Dubai, which how we met with Hisham and worked with Hisham, or London. So whatever. So we do this cross-jurisdictional international work in the startup ecosystem. So, and we experience things, and we do also a lot of due diligence for investors, or we represent the startup and investors ask us questions. So that's why I think we're in a good position to talk about the important stuff that you should be careful as a founder from the day one. And like Rainer and Hisham also mentioned some of them. So you can form a company in most of the jurisdictions in a couple of days now. In Estonia, it's 5 minutes. This is really impressive, by the way. In Delaware, it can be an hour, and let's say 24 hours in Delaware. In Istanbul, yeah, we're a little bit slow, but let's say 3 to 5 days, you can have a company, and you bank account you can have in 7, 10 days, if you are really ambitious. But all these jurisdictions are trying to make it super easy for you because they want you. They want you to come as a founder, as a startup. But so I suggest you work with a lawyer from day one and form the company with a lawyer as well. But I know you, so you can do it cheap with some providers. But after the formation, there is something we call post incorporation, which is actually what we talked about in the last 20 minutes. It is when you prepare your corporate governance documents, you issue shares, you prepare a founders agreement, which we suggest, even a shitty one. You decide vesting of founders and employees. You maybe put a stock option plan. So this is called post incorporation, and you should have this. Like you shouldn't just start a company and have a bank account and just start you know looking for investors, whatever, because they will do due diligence to you, and you're gonna have trouble after doing this once you started wrongly. So it's important that you have a good corporate governance from the beginning, if possible. And we can go deep into this, but we don't have that much time. So, but maybe we can talk about IP a little bit more later. And here we can talk the founder agreement, which is mentioned before. So what is a founder agreement? You have co-founders and you love each other in the beginning. It's great. Everything is going great. But believe me, there are problems. And in US, I read a research last week, I think maybe 70-80% of the startups fail because of founder conflict. They fight. And if there's no good founder agreement in place, it's a really expensive bottle, and investors hate this. All venture capital firms, they hate fighting founders because they invested in you as a team. And once you fight, the startups mostly fail. But if there's a good founder agreement in place, it regulates a lot of things, like how things decided, the votings, how founders earn their shares in the company. So if there is a bad behavior founder, we call them bad believers, or someone argues that all code belongs to him, not to company. There are usually rules. You put sections there that it's for company to easily kick him out. So, and there are vestings. So if you put a time-based vesting, let's say 4 years, and you fight in the second year, at least he only has vested 2 years of the shares, right? Not the rest. So at least you argue for the half of his shares, not all of it. Or there are IP clauses, which clearly says usually all IP, all code, all ideas, whatever about the business, about the company belongs to the company, not a person. So founders agreements, they protect you and they are necessary. And you don't need to name them a founder agreement. It can be even a board consent, stockholder consent sometimes. It just the content is important. And you should have one, definitely. And here maybe also when we talk about issuing stock, briefly we can mention a restricted stock. What is a restricted stock? It's a stock that has vesting. So if you give a founder issue stock from day one, like non-restricted one, which means he owns it day one, like half of the company. But if you give restricted stock, she still owns it. She still votes for half. Well, she has the voting rights like half of the company, but there's a time-based vesting or KPI-based vesting, whatever. So the company has a right to repurchase the shares back from this founder, in a time frame, according to some KPIs, whatever. So it is a power for the company, which is what we all want. We want company to be powerful, not the founders, because we may have conflicts and we will have investors and shareholders in the future. And there may be some conflicts between the investors and the founders. So what matters is the company. So restricted stock, maybe you can remember it. And just to open some tabs on your mind, there is also something called flip up, which is you form a company in Turkey, you don't like it anymore. You want to be global, you want global expansion, or you want to go to Estonia, whatever. In most jurisdictions, flip up means you flip your company to another jurisdiction. You may have 10, 12 shareholders and some investors, co-founders. The same shareholding structure flip to another jurisdiction. For example, we do that a lot with US or UK. We take a Turkish company, maybe did 3, 4 rounds of investments. As I got one like with 92 investors. Imagine 10 VCs flipped to US successfully, and now it's a US company which owns the 100% of the Turkish subsidiary, and it operates like that. So a flip up is always possible as a startup. Like you don't have to
But it
stick.
will cost a lot, right? Flipping up.
It depends. Yes, if you are really crowded, the company, the cap table is super complicated. The cost it increases the cost. But it depends on the providers you go. Of course, you need also tax advice and a CPA. So you have legal advisors and CPAs. It's like teamwork. But I don't know, like if you are a startup which raised whatever, even $1 million, it's not a big cost for you to spend $50,000 to, flip your company, something like that. But yes, like, I mean, the best scenario is picking the right jurisdiction in the beginning.
Yeah.
But you can at least flip an option to flip up is a good thing. And sometimes investors require this from you, by the way. A Silicon Valley investor, this happens a lot to us. Like a Silicon Valley investor likes a company, like we have a cybersecurity company from Turkey. They loved it. They wanted to invest $20 million. Amazing. But they don't want to invest a Turkish company. So they require you to flip up. And they pay for it. They pay your flip up. They flip you to US and then invest the money. So it's good to have this option. But you have to do it right. Again, IP. Most of these foreign investors, if they want you to flip your company, they also want you to transfer the IP too. Like they don't want the Turkish subsidiary owned by this US company or UK company, in most scenarios, hold the IP. They want IP to be transferred to, and that one is kind of expensive because you need an IP valuation and you need to sell the IP in most scenarios to US, which means tax. If you are selling your most important asset to another company, it can be costly. But some of them also let the company keep the IP in Turkey or in another jurisdiction. I mean, it depends, but mostly also you need to at some point transfer the IP too. So, and in the end of this brief presentation, we can maybe talk about IP a little bit more. it is the most important thing because you are not, as a startup, you don't own land or building. Like your most important asset is your IP in most scenarios. If you don't have a production line or whatever. So, and when we say IP, most founders think it's like a trademark, a patent, which who owns a patent? Patent is really hard to obtain. So most of the startups, they don't have a patent. So IP can be anything. Your customer list can be an IP. Your designs, like whatever, your notes in your MacBook as a founder, these can all be IP. And IP is a super general term. And the best practice here is you need to transfer this IP to company, assign it from the beginning. Like, because when an investor comes, even most angel investors, they decide to invest to you, and the first thing they ask is, can I see an IP assignment? Whatever. Even a safe document, which Hisham mentioned, really simple investment tool, it says the company accepts and declares that the IP belongs to the company. Like this representation is really required. So you need you and your co-founders and your employees, your contractors, whatever. Even someone served you 2 hours and you paid like $200, you need to have an IP assignment, something signed by that person. In Turkish law, it's kind of safe. The Turkish labor law kind of demands and requires that the IP belongs to company. So in Turkey, you are mostly safe, but still in Turkey also we put it in contracts, the IP assignment. And yeah, another common mistake is the domain names. Most founders obtain the domain names for their own name, but believe me, in due diligence, investors also check this and tell you, hey, can you transfer the domain to the company? I don't want you to own it. And of course, trademarks. They're recommended. You should trademark your name. It's not that expensive. It's like, let's say, in most scenarios, really easy. If you don't have a name like Claude, which you would have problems with iCloud, right? But at least like for most names, it's easy. So trademark is recommended. And in the last minute, this is a lot of details, but maybe this we can talk about. I mentioned due diligence, right? So due diligence is something you experience, and I want you to experience it in a good way, not a bad way. Good due diligence reviews can be really helpful for a founder, which improves your company. You get some red flags from some investors, from some lawyers. You can even pay for your own due diligence to a lawyer. The lawyer does a due diligence review for you and reports it to you and then fix it with you. So it can be a good word or a bad word. It can be a reason that you lose an investment opportunity because your company was not diligent. So, and most investors look like some basics, which we mentioned already, the right legal structure. I mean, you need to, if you are in the US, for example, you need to have an incorporation, not an LLC in most scenarios, in most 10 companies, because LLCs are not VC friendly or investor friendly, whatever, shareholder friendly. So you need to have an incorporation. For example, in Turkey, you need to have a anonim şirket in Turkish. And then, like we said, have a founders shareholders agreement. And maybe the most important thing is like read the contracts. Like as a founder, as a C-level in your own company, owner, you sign a lot of agreements, which is exciting. When you have a customer, for example, it's great to have attraction, right? You need to sell your product, but sometimes we sign terrible agreements as founders. Like we see a lot of really aggressive, like harmful clauses. I give you one example. In one startup, which became our client later, but it was not our client. They signed an agreement with Walmart. Amazing customer from US. everything was perfect, but there's a clause in it which says exclusivity. You can only sell your product in this business, in market business, to Walmart. It's terrible for you, right? There are a lot of supermarkets, a lot of market chains. What about Trader Joe? Whatever, right? So what about Publix? Even Migros, like a market in Turkey, that you can have troubles with it. So you need to read it or check it with a lawyer. You need to have a nice template, for example, customer agreements, service agreements for your company, protecting your company. And then, of course, you need to protect your IP. And I suggest to founders, I am coming from a big law firm, like this huge names, huge ones, to work with boutique firms in the startup venture capital area. It is more helpful. It's not because we are a law firm like that. Believe me, the big law firms, they have a lot of teams, every service, but this world is different. You all know it already, and different terminology, different principles. So it's better to work with lawyers who know startups and venture capital firms and etc. So work with a smaller boutique startup firm if possible. So that's it. Any questions I can answer?
Any questions? Maybe after hot seat pitches, we have some questions. Okay. So we can jump into the hot seat pitches. Alperen, can you?
Yes, we are going to
guide
start
the
with
founders?
Begüm. Begüm, are you ready? Begüm Şendoğan.
Yes, hi everyone. I am ready. Let me share my screen.
Okay.
Can you see it? Everything
Yeah,
is...
we can see your screen.
Is it
You
full
can
screen?
start when you're ready. Okay, right now it's full screen.
Now
You
it's
can see.
Okay, thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Begüm Şendoğan. Today I would like to introduce you my company, Polycatcher, where we envision a microplastic-free future through scalable detection and removal technologies for microplastics. So Polycatcher is developing a modular microfluidic platform that detects and quantifies microplastics at the same time, so that we can have wastewater treatment plants and environmental labs that need regulation-ready microplastic detection. What is the problem at the moment with the microplastics? Current tools to detect them are slow, expensive, and bulky, especially for particles less than 100 micrometer. How we can solve them with a Polycatcher system? It will be faster, cheaper, and will be modular. Even we can detect the particles smaller than 100 micrometer. So we are developing a modular microfluidic platform that detects and quantifies microplastics. It combines flow-based separation and sensing techniques. Early version will focus on only the detection of microplastics. However, for future versions, we will add capture and enzymatic degradation of microplastics. As you can see in the figure, this is the preliminary concept design, which is based on similar techniques used in our previous particle separation and detection patent and papers. Our roadmap for the product development we'll start with the MVP, which will be a tabletop microfluidic real-time microplastic detection and quantification system. And our performance will be based on the detection range. We'll start with the detection range less than 100 micrometer with the method of inertial focusing, optical microfluidic detection. Our primary metric will be the particle recovery rate as larger than 80%. In 26, we will show our MVP with some pilot tests. In 27, we are aiming commercial detection with the Polycatcher. And after 28, we will add capture model and degradation model for our expansion of our business. We can say why now? At the moment, there is no regulation for eliminating of microplastics from wastewater. However, there are reports and regulations for the monitoring and preparation phase of the microplastic all over the world. For the midterm, after 26, there will be mandatory monitoring and reporting all over the world. And in the long term, limits and treatment obligations will be applicable for all the world. So every major regulatory body agrees that you cannot regulate what you cannot measure. So first detection comes first on all microplastic regulation roadmaps. The revenue model will be based on the device sale, cartridge replacements, monthly or per test depending on the customer requirements, and optional subscription for analytics can be available. We are aiming a customer lifetime of more than 5 years. When we check the market opportunity for the obtainable market, we are aiming 2 million euros within 3 years based on the sales of 100 detection device and cartridge sales. When we expand our business, we can reach even accessible markets larger than millions of euros. We have emerging competitors at the moment from Canada, USA, or European Union. We will try to compete with them with a cheaper product, with a portable option of the device, and we will also solve the quantification system. At the moment, I am the sole founder of the company. I have more than 12 years of experience in industrial R&D of deep tech products, similar to Polycatcher. And I am looking for a co-founder with expertise, especially in commercialization of B2B business. And we can continue with what I'm looking for. Mentor feedback to refine the go-to-market is especially important at the moment. Of course, initial pre-seed funding of 250k euros will be necessary to build the MVP. Also, I will need, as I mentioned before, co-founders and advisors, especially experience with commercialization and regulatory strategy. Quantify first, eliminate water with Polycatcher. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Begüm. And just for your information, it was almost more than 5 minutes.
Oh, really? I tried to be quick.
Yes,
Sorry.
absolutely. And it was even so quickly, and you might think to work on it later on.
Okay, thank you.
Our mentors, would you like to give feedback? And please give your score first, then feedback if it's possible for you.
Can I ask first before I give my score? I want to know.
Yes, sure.
Okay. So, who are your target clients? Are they cities, municipalities? Who are you going after?
At the starting point, probably environmental labs will be the primary target, but at the expanding of the business, it will be both the municipal and industrial wastewater treatment plants because they seem to be similar.
Okay. And it's 50. How many devices do you sell per client?
It will depend on the laboratory setup of their, let's say 1 per laboratory.
Okay.
But the major revenue will come from the cartridge sales, which each device will require lots of cartridges per year.
Okay. Have you sold this to anyone or not yet?
Not yet. I haven't built the MVP yet.
Okay. Okay, I'm done with my questions.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Is your score ready?
Then we wonder your score.
I'm sorry. I think it's either 1, 2, 4, or 5, right?
Yeah.
Yes, no, 3.
Yeah, I think it's my score is 2, not because I don't think this is a great product, but I don't know if this is good for venture. This is more of a hard product. It's amazing that you're doing it. We definitely need it. That's my score.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
Rainer?
I'm gonna give you a 2 because this is not a startup. This is a lab technology, deep tech invention that you're doing. This could be something else. Like I understand the problem. It sounds like a sound problem, if you want to build a product that is a startup product based on the same technology and science, then you should be focusing on health products, in my opinion, which are B2C. A devil's advocate will say that this is a potential health anxiety product. And if it is a health anxiety product, then it's a good one because many people will buy. But this is not at the current phase, not even a B2C, sorry, B2B product, but it's a B2G product where you have procurements and standardization in procuring process. And this will be a madness to sell. So based on the current pitch, I would say that you need, if you want to do it as a startup, you need to change the product and use the same science for a lesser good. Sorry.
Yeah, I understand.
Thank you. Caner?
Can I ask one question? Maybe I missed. How? So you need $250,000 for MVP, right? Which is
Yeah,
okay.
250.
And how expensive this will be to build? Like if you are producing the product, right? It's 1 year past, you have the MVP, you get investment from, let's say, a Europe environmental venture capital fund invested in you. Like how expensive this is? Like just one product? Like
Yeah, to build the one product, first of all, the validation and verification of the system will be necessary. Since it's not a biomedical product, you don't need to show the validation like a clinical validation. So it will be less than a biomedical product, health product, let's say. Yeah, what my plan is, 250 will be for the a small team building, a laboratory setup, and the building of the MVP and a couple of similar devices to show the repeatability of the device.
But
okay.
he's
So
asking for the cost of actual product after the MVP
after
stage,
the
after
MVP
the investment.
stage. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, after the
Yeah.
MVP stage, yeah, it will be probably
Approximately, maybe it's hard to guess, maybe but approximately.
around 7,000 to 8,000 euros, I guess.
Okay, so it is an expensive product. It's gonna hard to expand the business, right? Yeah, I think agree. It will be like cheaper and also I don't know the area, and also I want feedback about this. You refer to the regulations of the European Union, which is kind of drafts. There are discussions, etc. And since this is close to our area, legal area, when I see them, I see that if they say 2026, it's 2030. They're super slow. Right? We all know.
Yes,
So
yes.
if you try, if you market this, and if investor knows Europe, if they say, hey, we are gonna have a draft, in seriously, they're super slow, and this is an important thing for you to market your product, because it's the stick, right? The governments will do something about this, so you need to buy my product to be ready, right? And it's like this schedule, this slide is not scary enough for me. Like, for example, the people who are selling this carbon related products, because there's a regulation, there are penalties, it's easier to sell. But this is not that, I don't know, a good market tool for me. So I give also 2.
Okay,
But
thank you,
this
Caner.
this is an incredible cause, and I hope this works. I hope you do this. Maybe a private placement, private investment, like a bigger investor, but not a venture capital. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Caner. Thank you, Begüm, again. And if you have any specific legal question to our mentors, you can ask your questions after hot seat pitches completed, Begüm.
Okay, thank you all.
Okay, and the other Begüm.
Yes, hello.
The floor is yours. You can start when you are ready.
Okay. It takes some time.
Yeah. Still loading.
Mm-hmm.
You can prepare a pitch for this waiting part as well, Begüm.
Yeah.
Just being silent.
We can see
Okay.
right now, Begüm.
Okay, perfect. Now let me start. Hello, I'm Begüm and I'm the founder of Data Wizard. And now today I will be presenting you my startup. So before we digging into the problem, let's set the scene. So it's Monday morning at Logisas. We are a Series B company growing fast and the pressure is on. The board meeting starts and suddenly this hits the screen. So the room goes silent. The CEO is furious, the sales VP is panicking, and everyone is asking the same question. Is the product broken or are we bleeding out? In the old world, what happens next? Basically chaos. And the meeting breaks down. Everyone runs to their silos to defend their turf. Sales blames product, product blames support, and Mert, our CFO, he disappears. He is buried in thousands of rows of Excel sheets trying to merge shipment volume data with customer tier data. He is lost for 3 days. So this is analysis paralysis. And while Mert is digging for answers, the company is about to make a panic decision. Now let me introduce you Data Wizard, the art of executive clarity. Data Wizard designs executive artifacts using overlay analysis to model financial scenarios and prescribe actions, accelerating decisions by 80%. Recalling Mert, our CFO from our case scenario, he projects a single view. He doesn't just show the churn, he peels back the layers of reality. The insight is clear at the end. We aren't losing valuable customers and we are just shedding dead weight. So this isn't a failure, it is efficiency. And okay, the board is relieved, but the CEO has the final worry. So Mert, what if this spirals? What if churn hits 12% next month? So Mert uses Data Wizard scenario simulation and he models the risks right there in the room. He pushes to the churn assumption to a worst case of 12%. He looks at the CEO and says, we have simulated the risk, so we are safe and we can proceed. Well, we haven't built a platform yet, and we haven't launched also, but our analysis of the market landscape reveals a massive and undeniable gap. So the problem isn't data, it's digestion. So while data volume is exploding, the tools to explain that data are stuck in the 1990s. So we see CFOs buying $1 million BI tools only to go back to taking screenshots and pasting them into PowerPoint. So why can't Mert do this with his existing tools? So we are the only platform that combines the automation of BI with the narrative power of a presentation. So we bridge the gap between the digital metrics and analog insights, and we are the executive operating system. So what's our next immediate step? We are moving from hypothesis to validation. And at this stage, we are not looking for a funding to build a massive ship. And we are looking for 5 visionary CFOs to help us steer the rudder. So we want to co-create the first version of Data Wizard with leaders who are tired of Excel hell and want to pioneer the future of executive storytelling. So why us? Because we build fast and we listen well. We are a product-first team with an expertise in user experience and data visualization. We have the technical chops to build the platform and the design vision to make it indispensable. So join us and let's visualize your data. Thank you.
Thank you, Begüm. It was also approximately 4 minutes. Just for your information. Hisham?
So have you built this or not yet?
No, not yet. We
Okay.
recently pivoted, so
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And the plan is to sell this as a subscription
Yeah, this will be a
to
digital
businesses.
product.
Yeah. Says. How does AI mess with this? How does it affect what you're doing?
Well, it basically accelerates the process. I mean, the AI is implemented in a way that will let CFOs interfere the data, but also give them the clear insights to act on them. So the AI will be basically collecting the data, raw data, and then it will combine the correlations with analog data and digital data. And then at the end, our visualization engine will visualize it into layers so that CFO can just hide a layer and see other layers of correlations, etc. And AI will just accelerate this process.
I guess I don't know enough about the field, but how is it different from Tableau, from other? You have that chart with the X.
Yeah.
Will
So,
someone that knows what they're doing, can they tell the difference? I mean, does your audience know the difference? I don't know the difference, but like Tableau is supposed to be pretty good at business intelligence and data analytics. I guess how do you differentiate yourself?
well, actually, they are really good tools, but the main thing that they lack is storytelling. The storytelling, I'm implying that why this happens. Okay, the Tableau and Power BI just says you this happens. So here is the raw data, but our platform just reveals the hidden insights, the correlations between them, and then it automatically shows the CFO, and this enables them to act faster. Because on the other hand, for a CFO using Power BI or Tableau, it will take days or even weeks to make a major decision, a financial decision. So we basically give this in a short time.
I think you did a great job on the hook, storytelling in the beginning. That was great. My score is 2. I don't know if you've differentiated enough because there are hundreds of tools that all claim to be doing something similar. I don't know if what makes your thing very different. So that's my score. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hisham. Rainer?
Hi. So really, I like the storytelling and I like the presentation. What I don't like is that I'm not sure if you actually know who your client is. So CFOs use extremely different methodologies, and there is no standard to my knowledge. And like, if you would be, for example, if you were selling this to PwC or somebody who has agreed with their clients on their standard methodologies and so forwards, and then you would push this on, then perhaps it would work. But like this really general promise that you are a CFO, therefore we can do it for you. It seems too good to be true. The way data is described in different tables and data sets is really different, and the machine doesn't actually understand it in my experience. So I will also give you a 2 because even though your presentation and hook is really good, I'm not convinced about the technology, and I should be.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I may add something. Maybe I haven't emphasized that during my presentation, but my main customer is rapidly growing Series B SaaS in the logistics sector. Not basically in logistics sector, but rapidly growing Series B SaaS companies. Because they need to act fast, especially financially.
Then perhaps the question is if they are on a specific platform like HubSpot or something like this, if you are selling this as a product or Salesforce or something like this, if they have already something set where you can understand what the data is, and you can say that, hey, if you have this platform, then our plugin does the magic, then this would be something that would be like, might be cool and might work easier.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rainer. Caner, do you have any feedback?
This not three rule is really aggressive, and it's hard to, right? It forces you to give, like, but that's why it's smart. I like it. So I think if you compare with the previous product, we can all agree that more startup venture capital type product. I also don't understand deeply the business. I love the presentation. I may have asked, so if we have a specific target, which is good, logistic Series B level, which is kind of really like a narrow group, right? Like logistics Series B. So what is the differentiating thing for this product, especially for that type of business? Like like why, right? From the other tools, like the more general tools, right? Like so why would they pick you? Like especially because of your maybe background, like maybe because you know that business better as founders, or you know their needs. Like what is it?
Well, first of all, the sector doesn't have to be logistics. I just said that out of mistake. Just Series B as a SaaS company. So the reason behind that is the fact that, as I mentioned, they need to act fast because they have tons of financial data, and the market is rapidly shifting, changing, and also their numbers are changing, and they need a more frequent analysis with big data. So we need to somehow automate it. Automate the analysis and the storytelling, or the revealing the reasons behind that. So our difference from other tools is that the other tools just give you the numbers. You put the raw data and then they visualize it and show it to you, and you can create numerous of data visualization. But for our case, you can just overlap those layers and see the whole picture, as well as you can isolate those layers and analyze them in detail. And that's actually the reason why we are going with Series B as SaaS companies. We have enough flexibility to dive into financial data in detail, but also we offer them a faster way to just instantly understand what the situation is through data visualization, and also the causation behind that result through data visualization again.
Okay, I see. So I think it's 2. I think again.
Okay,
My score
thank
is
you.
also 2. But thank you. That was an amazing presentation though. And
Thank you.
I literally understood everything, which is amazing, Betty.
I guess all mentors wish we had 3, but we don't have 3.
Yeah, this is even I score all movies I watch 3 because it's easy, on Letterboxd. You just give 3 and it's safe. Like
you need to watch better movies then.
Thank you, Begüm. You can
Thank you
also
so much.
Thank
prepare
you.
your legal questions. And our last founder is Derya, but she's not here. Şebnem, do you have any idea?
Yes, let me call her because she's attending in a minute.
Okay.
Give me a second. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll let her. I thought that she's the fifth
Yeah,
one. This is why.
Okay, she joined.
Already?
Yes,
Okay.
we are waiting for her.
Oh.
Okay.
Derya,
Yeah.
welcome.
Hello, yes, I'm here. I'm so sorry I catched it. My meeting was extended a lot.
No problem. You can breathe in first, then you can start.
Okay, I am still in the office, so I'm gonna share my screen.
No, feel free.
Okay, can you see it?
Not yet. Yeah, we can see right now. You can make it full screen, then start.
I did.
Yes, you
Okay.
can start.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna present you Coder today. We are going to decode your biology, restore your energy. So we are serving personalized health and supplement plans powered by genetic algorithm and machine learning. I am Derya, and my co-founder Şebnem, you already met. She is clinical genetics, and I'm industrial engineer as co-founder. Who are we going to help? We are going to help health-aware, high-achieving women and men aged 30 to 50 with unexplained fatigue, anxiety, and mental fog. Pain points are so clear. Wellness guessing game, confused about which supplements, and tried many products. No easy access to personalized guidance. It costs money and time, and geographically maybe impossible. And these people tried a lot of things with failed solutions, expensive lab or genetic tests, or random advice from social media, even TikToks, blogs, and anonymous sources. So as UCoder, we are proposing personal health plans, and we are using smart questions built on clinical logic and genetic principles to turn symptoms into actionable daily protocols. So core benefits, no labs or saliva tests, lifestyle focus areas, supplement suggestions, even red flags in your daily life. So all powered by genetic algorithms, but feels like a trusted expert. How it works? It's very simple. Step one, we have smart questionnaire, and everyone can easily answer targeted expert design questions. And then step two, pattern detection. Our AI engine detects biological patterns and flags potential imbalances. And the third one, you are going to get personalized plan, receive personalized protocols, including supplements, habits, nutrition, and red flags in your daily life. The market is huge, massive, but misguided. So around $60 billion global personalized wellness market, and it turns $3 billion SAM. But we are mainly focused on SOM as $10 million between 100 and 200K users plus B2B licenses. But the market is huge and the potential is huge. Our motto is clinically inspired, user approved, because our MVP is live and used in pilot sessions with real users, like a tool, clinic patients, friends of clinic, and our network. Early metrics, we had more than 100 early assessments with this questionnaire and genetic test. And accuracy is almost 90%, alignment between UCoder's risk patterns and clinicians' clinical impression in our pilot cases. So our key insight is people are willing to trust a question-based AI tool if it feels clinical, logical, and not like a generic horoscope for everyone. So it's one of our customer testimonial from more than 100 user case. He has tremendous overwhelming because of the pandemic, and we had this tool with him. We tried it, and during the consultation and during the process, within 1.5 and 2 months, he noticed that a clear reduction in his anxiety and significant improvement in his overall stability and quality of life. So how are we going to make money? Phase 1, B2C, direct to consumer with paid assessments. If they are going to have one-time report, $49 to $79. If they want a subscription, $99 per year. So phase 2, of course, we want to focus also on B2B, licensing and service model for wellness clinics, longevity centers, spa hotels. And the long-term upside, we are going to use our data as an insight tool to generate better algorithms, potential partnerships with labs, insurers, far more longevity wellness brands. So we are going to launch our product with initial backhead with our personal network and UCoder patient base, as I mentioned earlier, and B2B expansion will be followed. And we already run and consult with longevity clinics with this tool and have direct access to the exact early adopter segment, so it will work. Our team, as I mentioned, one of co-founders, Şebnem, is genetic engineer. She has a lot of background and experience on this field. I am as an industrial engineer. I have background in business and operation management. So our ask and what's next for UCoder, we are raising $500K pre-seed round. We are going to use this money to finalize AI-based MEP development, launch initial B2C paid version, build 2 or 3 pilot with B2B partners, and content expert-led go-to-market strategy. For the next 12 months, you can see our milestones with the numbers. Thank you.
Thank you, Daria. Your presentation was almost 6 minutes, and you can also work on it. No problem. No worries.
Today we have time. It's not a problem. But for the future sessions, you need to be prepared for 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. And I have also shared something on the chat. You can think, you might think to use it for your scripts and also presentation, not only for Daria, for all founders. And Hisham, the floor is yours.
Is it going to be like a Whoop, a thing I'm going to wear, or is it just an app?
It will be a website.
Website. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So how do you do pattern recognition? How do you get the data? Do I have to keep inputting it into the...
No, you'll answer the questionnaire, and we prepared this questionnaire according to the back science data and all the symptoms that we have with major genetic mutations in our research. So you're going to see just questionnaire, and you're going to fill the questionnaire, and our background data will find which genes you have with mutations and which way you should follow with supplements, daily habits, and everything.
Okay. Do I have to submit blood or a genetic test? Or
No.
Nothing.
No.
How long does this questionnaire take? Like, I feel like it should be a really long questionnaire, right? Without any...
No, it doesn't too long. It's almost, at most 15 to 20 minutes. But one of the important thing is to continue to have this subscription-based model, because it's quite a fail and run or fail and move kind of things. You need to fill and you need to follow the way that we are going to propose, like trial and fail kind of situation. You should experience.
How is it different from a Whoop? This thing.
Yeah, it's different. Şebnem, I am seeing your face. If you want to jump in, please jump in. But I may start. Maybe you can jump in also.
Do, but I also used the Whoop before, so I'm the user of Whoop, so I can definitely just explain the difference. But Daria, this is your turn, so please do. Maybe I can add something. Sorry for that.
Our questionnaire based on real science, real data like genetics. So Whoop may have some failures and may disguide you with the data that they have. But our questionnaire and database with the science backed create more value. in your life, and it will create more value with smaller types.
Okay. Why do you combine the two? Why do you
With the
do a
Whoop.
Whoop? I mean, do a Whoop because it tracks your heart rate.
Can I
And that,
comment on it?
yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, the thing is, yes, so there's so many AIs that they are using Apple Health to get the data, like from the Whoop, Garmin, the Apple Watch, so, and also, you know, the Oura Ring. So the
Yeah.
thing is, yes, for your daily life, we can get the data, we can check your sleep quality and give some recommendations. But the thing is, behind the genetics, it is not a good thing, you know, it is something that you are just having in your daily life, like migraine, fibromyalgia, IBS. So it's kind of a bigger picture of the lifestyle. This is why we are trying to understand your genetic pathway to increase your quality of life. So yes, maybe in the future we can directly get the data, but I'm still working for this sectors now, and there's so many AI tools that they are saying that, okay, I can get your data from your Whoop or Ring, and I can just try to just, you know, make it understandable. But sometimes it's not enough, because for Oura Ring, for example, you can get your fitness data. For sleep data, they are recommending Whoop. So there's so many tools that make people confused about that.
I think I'll go with a 4. I think you guys are on the right track, but I don't know if it's enough. There's one more. I like wearing this thing. I like this thing that keeps buzzing. I don't know, go on a website. I think doing a saliva test or doing a blood test, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that'll actually be good for because you have to do something versus
By the
just
way, it is the core part. So at the end, if they would like to have the genetic screening, yes, we would like to add, of course. But for example, the people who cannot afford the genetic testing, as you know, that they're expensive, we are trying to democratize to have this, you know, health for everyone. It's not
like
about,
achievable,
you know,
yes,
achievable
accessible for everyone.
systems. This was the reason that we started this business. Of course, if they would like to do genetic testing, we prefer.
Okay.
It's more direct, of course, but it's costly.
100% accuracy, not 90%.
How much does it cost? How much does it cost in Turkey, for example, to do a genetic test?
Turkey is cheaper than the rest of the world. You can find something between maybe $100 or $200 in Turkey. But when we are talking about
10K
European countries,
Sorry, I didn't hear it. How much is it for the genetic test?
It's 10K Turkish lira.
What is that in dollars?
Around 200.
Yeah, 200.
200. So it is cheaper in Turkey. Yeah, but in European and United Kingdom, it is really expensive. We tried it. We had so many patients in European and United Kingdom, and everything is expensive. Even the blood tests, the regular blood tests are really expensive, so they don't want to have this test regularly. So this is why we are trying to democratize it with getting questionnaire and giving people these suggestions to improve their life quality.
Can you have them take the blood and mail it to you in Turkey?
No, I mean it's hard. I mean, yes,
Or
they
the
can.
saliva. Yeah, okay.
But it's hard.
The thing is sending biological sample from abroad to another country is a little tricky because of the custom issues. Yeah. So we tried it before. I'm a genetic engineer, so I tried everything. I know everything about sending the biological sample. And yes, for the saliva, you can send it to United States, for example, but Turkish custom is nightmare. Believe me, you don't want to just deal with Turkish custom if you would like to get anything to Turkey or out of Turkey.
There's something like, like 23andMe, you do the thing, you put it in the bottle and you mail it, and they tell you if you're half Turkish and half from South Africa or whatever it is, right? I don't know. There's another iteration to this. But
this is United States, yes. And
Yeah.
yeah, I know that 23andMe did this reduction in the price to collect the data, human data, because they sell the data to pharmacy. So this is some other business. Maybe we can try that one as well, but they just make really cheap tests to just sell their data to the pharmacy. I know that. So this is not a thing that we would like to do. we care privacy.
And to the FBI. They also sell it to the FBI.
Yes,
so.
yeah. This is why we care privacy. We care human. So that's not the point that we are doing.
Possibly some insurance companies. They sold it to insurance companies.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hisham. I'm sorry for that. I interrupted your
No problem. Thank you.
presentation. I'm just muting myself.
We can't hear you, Rainer. You're muted.
Scusi. So, I'm hearing a lot of good buzzwords, genetics, anxiety, lifespan. These are aspects of life that people are ready to invest in, and it's good to push any B2C products and services there. What I'm feeling is that if you have a 20-minute questionnaire about my genetics, and being a lawyer, I know how honest people are, I would say that the test to my level of critique will have the results of a horoscope, where you would presume so much and you would presume so much that your presumptions would be already so big based on what the people are saying that I simply think that this is something really, really abstract, and I'm not sure whether you are able to provide the service that you're proposing with accuracy that would create value. However, like with good marketing, yes, there would be a theoretical product. Now, from a more specific aspect of being a EU lawyer is that this product most definitely falls under the medical device regulation, and you would have to get it certified, the algorithms and everything. And I think at the current explanation of what you are doing, I'm sure that the product doesn't meet the criteria, because if you are promising genetic-based algorithms giving advice based on a 20-minute questionnaire, which means essentially 20 questions, then yeah, I don't think that you will get the proof of concept audited duly. And like I have a slight like understanding of how the whole world of genetics and genetic diseases works, because I have a doctor specializing in genetics and diseases based on genetics at home, and like this feels really wild to me, but perhaps my mind is riddled with stupid presumptions. So if I need to give a grade to the presentation, it will be 2.
Can I say something about your comments?
Sure.
Yes.
This is not assuming the genetic disease or mutation. This is just understanding the polymorphism. So yes, I can understand that when you're talking about a disease and mutations, this is something else. Of course, we cannot do by questionnaire. But when we are talking about polymorphism, which affects your cells absorption of your vitamins, yes, we can definitely assume them. So this is we need to just differentiate it from the disease, mutations, disorders. This is why I would like to comment on it. Thank you for your comments and feedback. Daria.
Commenting right back at you.
Yes, same.
You
By the way, I
you
got your
mentioned
concern, and it's valid based on answers of questionnaire. I mean, we need to trust people's answers, but we have experience while having this questionnaire because people looking for an answer and something to try and work. So while having this attitude from the people, and our MEP shows that if someone wants these kind of things to solve problem that no one solve, so people may attempt to send honest answers from a simple questionnaire because we are not going to ask some private questions from their life. So I got your concern and you are right, but according to our MEP, we solved issue with the communication with the patients. Thank you.
Thank you, Rainer. Caner.
So I understood how it works. So I want to understand, like, what do we recommend them back? Okay, 20-minute questionnaire, they filled it. Do we recommend them something like maybe super basic, like okay, take magnesium every night, something like that? Like, what do we mean with what do we give them back? Like, how does it look? It's like a report. It's like what is the content actually? Like, what do I get from you?
It's kind of a report with the suggested supplements you need to take. For example, like you said, magnesium at the nights, maybe 1 hour before your sleep, and you need to take more green veggies in your daily life. You need to see sunshine while the day is born, kind of daily habits and red flags. You need to avoid this kind of nutritions and everything. So it's kind of a report, but not a formal and long one, just the suggestions. And of course, we're going to put, this is not a medical suggestions. I mean, this is, of course, up to you kind of constraints we're going to add at the end of the report.
These are over-the-counter products, like they say in Turkish, tüketici sağlığı. It's no license, no Ministry of Health involvement.
Yes,
This
no
is
Ministry of Health involvement. This is not the medical advice. Kind of, you should get doctor consultation if you have any trouble, kind of things.
Yeah, of course. You should have like huge disclaimers, right? This is really sensitive area. My fiance is a geneticist, and she works for big pharma. So I know they love this kind of products because there is no ministry. They make good money with these products. But they're also, right, there are disclaimers and everything. This is like selling a chocolate, basically, regulatory wise.
And we're going to propose,
and it's still a pill.
Yeah, common form of the supplements like B12. If you have these kind of mutations that we have in the answers from the questionnaire, we're going to propose B12, and it's common and it fits everyone. So we differentiate ourselves with the suggestions and everything, but we are not going to propose some specific supplements to avoid this kind of misleading.
And are you gonna suggest brands, like a specific brand of vitamin D or just vitamin D? Like basically this company can make money from brands as well, right?
Yeah. Our aim is to propose brands, not like selling brands as a marketplace. Our aim is to propose some brands that we trust as a supplement brand, of course, and in the future to sell these positions to the supplement brands to earn money from this.
Yeah, we also earn money from them, and yeah. I mean, from a pragmatic perspective, even if this does not work, like Rainer said, if it's not that helping to people, I think you can still sell it, right? I think it's a great product.
It's quite a placebo.
It's like
placebo effect.
It's a great product. Like I take vitamin D every day. I don't know whether it works. It's like because people say so, and it makes me feel good. and it's not that expensive. It's reachable. It's just a website. It's $50, whatever, right? And if people lie to you in the form, which I agree, I think they will. If you ask someone, hey, do you wake up really sad in the morning? The person will say, maybe he's super sad. Like, people tend to lie, right? Like I may probably lie. But still, even if it's super generic, some basic, I mean, magnesium is probably good for everyone, whatever. Like this kind of products, I give it like 4.5, like almost 5, because I think you can sell it. It's like I love it. And I mean, if it
means you
solves things,
invest.
if it solves stuff, it's even much better because they come back to you. And if it doesn't, they don't. But I mean, you have a huge addressable market. So, I mean, I really liked it actually. I
Thank
will
you.
discuss this with my fiance. Maybe let's see. Double check whether that
Thank
works.
you.
Right?
Maybe
Thank
we can
you.
have a consultation with you and your fiance, and we try to understand your genetic makeup.
No, she does this oncology super expensive drug thingy. She's
Okay.
not in this thing like this the thing new
Okay.
expensive stuff that you call biological drugs, something like that. Personalized.
Pharmacogenetics, what we are saying.
Yeah. But she would be able to meet with you, if you want.
By the way, you
Definitely,
can
why
open office hours through this platform. So your fiance can join your office hours and you can meet
Yeah, definitely, why not? We can just discuss.
with the team. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much,
Thank
Şebnem,
you.
Derya,
Thanks
and
for
Caner.
all of you.
We have only one
Thank
more
you.
volunteer founder, right? Alp, are you here and would you like to present?
Yes, I'm here and I would like to present. Okay, so can you see my
We can
screen?
see only if we can make it full screen. Yeah, we can see right now. You can start when you're ready.
Yes, hello everyone, I'm Alp and today I'm going to show you the operating system we are building for the third wave of generative AI. It's Audiot. There is a massive contradiction in the gaming world today. While graphics and physics are real-time and dynamic, but audio is still stuck in the past. If you are a developer today, your audio files are static and locked. If the game tempo changes, the music doesn't. If you need a single edit, you wait for days. Simply put, audio cannot keep up with the speed of modern games. With Audiot, we are changing this paradigm. We turn audio from a frozen file into a dynamic system. Think of like it Legos. We deconstruct AI-generated audio into separate editable components, allowing developers to manage and rearrange them inside the game engine in the real time. And this isn't just a concept. Here is the product. Throughout the visual node canvas, developers can build complex adaptive audio systems without writing a single line of code. Our engine runs in the background, remixing and adapting the music milliseconds before it hits the player's ears. So why now? We are witnessing a historical pattern. The text wave gave us infrastructure giants like Hugging Face. The image wave gave us real-time speed demos like Fall AI. Now we are entering the third wave, audio. The models like Suno are ready, but the interaction layer is missing. Audio is here to fill that multi-billion-dollar infrastructure gap. We are not building this in vacuum. We are already secured a partnership with Istanbul Kent University. Right now, 250 future game developers are learning audio design on Audiot, not on legacy tools. We are capturing the workforce before they even graduate. Our go-to-market strategy is laser-focused, games first. Game studios feel the pain of static audio the most. Once we prove the tech here, we will expand to video creators and the global music industry. How to make money? We have a dual engine model. First, SaaS, we charge for the editor tool like 30 per month. Second, the most importantly, runtime licensing. We embed our engine inside the games. As the gamers' user base grows, our revenue grows. We don't just sell the tool, we sell the electricity that runs the system. Team, we have a big team, but as an investor, you don't need to think about salary because we will handle the salary. And our advisors board, it's a big advisor board, I guess. And what we are asking, the AI models are the fuel, we are the engine. We are raising 30K pre-seed to finalize our real-time engine, launch our beta, and onboard our first 50 game studios. Join us in building the standard interface for the future of audio. Thank you.
Thank you, Alp. It was 3.5 minutes.
That's great. So have you sold any of this before or no? Have you sold anything?
No, we are just trying our MVP right now.
Okay. Anyone else in this market? There, I didn't see a competitor slide.
Actually, no infrastructure right now.
So there's no one in your market.
For my known, no.
Okay. And this targets gaming people that make games or
Yes, we will begin with game studios, and after all, we will change music industry.
How will you change the music industry? How will you change it?
Actually, we are building the future, so it will be easy to change the music industry, like Spotify.
Okay, but how are you going to do that?
We will start with game studios. After the 5,000 game studios, we will have some marketing power, and we will have some engine power. So we will advertise our products, and after the agreement with, for example, Universal Music Studio, the music industry will change.
How does this contribute to a song? Like, okay, Universal Studios doing an album, they have like music sound engineers, music engineers, like there's a team. Like how this product specifically will contribute to or what will it change? You know better than me the technicals, it's like
Actually, Universal Music Studios had an agreement with Suno AI. Suno is the AI music model. Had an agreement with Suno AI. That was about for creating a new model with artists, and we are building infrastructure for using Suno's better. We will use Suno. Suno will get an agreement, and we will do better UI user experience for Suno.
Mhm.
No doubt the product's probably amazing, but you probably need to work on the presentation for a non-technical audience, people like me that don't know anything. So I'm going to give you a 2, not to say the product isn't any good, but just I couldn't get it. I couldn't get the sale, how you're going to differentiate yourself. Yeah.
Thank you, Hisham.
Thank you.
Rainer?
So I was gonna give you a 5, but then I'm gonna give you a 4 because your answers to the questions were too vague, and you are over promising with going into another field and revolutionizing this as well. Regarding games, I believe you, and I think it's a good concept that you're working on. Gaming industry is pushing heavy, and it's good because in practical terms, it's the most accessible, complicated source of entertainment. And you have a massive market of developers who are looking to find ways how to express themselves, because creating music is extremely difficult, and if you are able to find a machine that should describe the feelings and the pace and everything and it's able to create, even based on some pre-made bricks, something that expresses this, then this will be a massive way of self-expression for the game developers. They might not end up using your product for the end thing in the game, but they might use this for creating the way of communicating with the creator of the original soundtrack. And it might be the same for actually series and film studios, where they want, the producer is able to express through language what they want, but and they're able to express something, but they don't have the tool to create the music, because this requires a different kind of a brain. And now delivering your message to the composer that this is something that I'm looking for, but perhaps something more like this, then this is a way to bridge two worlds. And if you are able to bridge this with a reasonable cost, then it might be big. What you need to work on is your enthusiasm. When I'm looking at the background, San Francisco Bridge, I'm believing in you. But if you start reading the word file word by word, we are gonna conquer the world, we are gonna be the best, then you have to act like it. So emotion. Yeah, 4. Almost 5.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rainer. Caner?
Yeah, I think I liked it. And even gaming studios is enough market. This is their early adopters, like Rainer said, easy to reach, and they are using any tool they can, and they love making things cheaper as far as it's possible. If the product is good, and they adopt everything super early, and this is a growing industry like crazy, right? Even I don't know how many gaming studio clients I have now. It's growing like super fast, and you are in the right jurisdiction, right? Turkey is amazing in this, and you will have a lot of early customers that you will have. It would be easy for you to access them. And I think it's a 4. Because the presentation, I like big words, so I like that part, but it's like, yeah, I also didn't understand the technical part that much. But yeah, I think it's a 4.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And we have completed our hot seat pitches chapter, and we can continue with Q&A session. And do you have any question for our founders?
No, there's no question.
No question?
One question. What do you think about Founders Institute? Objective comments, is it? I think this station
you cannot give a 3.
Yeah. Give it a score. How is it for a founder? I find it awesome so far. It's yeah, but what do you think?
We have Nihal, right?
Nihal,
Yeah.
what do you think? And ask your question.
Okay, so actually I have many questions, so I'll try to be specific in some questions. So I will start with a question to Rainer. So about Estonia and all the opportunities that it presents to startups. So starting from Estonia, for someone who is using the Turkish market as a pilot market, is this, first of all, a correct choice? And second of all, if we go to investment, and what does US investors think about companies in Estonia or in Europe in general? Would it be better if I create the company in the US directly, or would Estonia would also be a good choice? This is for investment. And the third one, as our startup is thinking about expanding, so the pilot market is Turkey, and then we're going to expand to MENA region and then Europe. So how about transferring the IP each time we expand? So should we, for example, start protecting the IP in Turkey first and then go to all European countries, or just Estonia, or how does it work, IP in expansion? Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to start from the end. The way IP works is that you have it in one company, in one jurisdiction, and depending on your product, if it's for software as a service, you just keep it there and you give the users certain rights, and you don't have to move the IP unless you are doing a flip or something, when you would change the headquarter company. Now, from the perspective of why would you need to start a company in Estonia, if you already have a company in Turkey, and if there is a specific reason you would need a European company, then Estonia is a good place to start from. However, it is not a thing where you would start a company in Estonia and then you would solve with all of your problems. Rather, if your first market is Turkey and then the region there, then I would stick with the Turkey company. And if you need a subsidiary in Europe, then Estonia would make sense. But here, other experts have a better understanding there. But I think that Turkey shouldn't be a bad place to have a company. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I would expect that US investors would see Turkey as a reasonable headquartered country. Other experts can pitch in, but definitely Estonia is more exotic than Turkey, because if you think about the world where we live in, and if we think about how known is Turkey, everybody is more or less able to understand where it is on the map. And the average American who doesn't know where Europe is on the map, they would not be able to point out where Estonia is. And this creates an exotic part to it. And even though Estonian company law is basically a light version of German public company law, Aktiengesetz, then nobody knows what it is anyways. So it's rather a window to Europe and a way to manage your company. And if you don't want to do it in Turkey, or if you need a EU regulation or something, then it's a good aspect of how to do it. Also, if you want to run a small company where you gather all your assets to, Estonia is a good place to do the holding company. But otherwise, like you should be doing your incorporation where it commercially makes the most sense, in my opinion, for your customers, because this is an important part of your trustworthiness.
Okay, sure. Thank you. So actually, I asked this question because Founder Institute's process leads us somehow to creating our company abroad, and mainly, preferably in the US. So for investor-wise, so that's why I asked this, and thank you for the clarification.
Can I
Hisham?
add something?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're raising money from the US, you should register in the US, in Delaware. And what's your
Yes.
can I ask what your nationality is?
Actually, I'm Tunisian and Turkish, both.
Okay. So you're not like from Yemen or Syria. Okay,
No.
yeah, so you won't have a problem registering, but Channer can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think a lot of US VCs invest in Turkish companies. They like to invest in Delaware companies.
Yes.
Not on a blacklist, right? You're not like Iraqi, so you're fine. And in expanding to MENA, it's better to expand as an American company than it is as a. I actually did try to register an Estonian company in Saudi. They don't know where it is on the map, right? This is the problem. So it's easier to expand using a US. I don't know about Turkish. I haven't tried to expand using a Turkish
It was
company.
terrible. It was
It's
terrible.
terrible.
Registering a Turkish company in Saudi, it's actually I was about to call you. It's like
Okay.
whether there's any
Go.
like how can we make this faster? Because it's the same company you advise, so it's terrible.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you got it. So
Everyone knows the
it's
US. They are comfortable with it. You can open a bank account. It's easy. So just do it there, you know.
Okay, thank you.
yeah. Also, the Founder Institute probably recommends because even if you don't know where to sell your product yet or where to get investment from, statistically it's just basic mathematics, right? Like I think 3, 4. US is number one in startup investor in venture capital. I think the closest competition is China, number two. But I think US venture capital funds and everything, the investment transaction amounts are still 4 times bigger than China. Imagine, like number one, number two, 4 times. Like it is there are more opportunities for an early stage startup. About the investing in Turkey comment, Turkey, yes, there are depending on the business. For example, if you're a gaming company, even US investors usually, if they're complicated enough, want you to stay in Turkey because there are a lot of incentives. They want to get benefit of those investments. In some areas, Turkey is still good. But in general, they find it politically risky. So they would want you to move to
Relocate
US.
India.
Yeah, or at least have the holding company in US and do whatever you want as research and development in Turkey because Turkey still has those amazing incentives about research and development. Like, so about your technical team, you can keep them in Turkey, move yourself to San Francisco and chill, but your engineers were from Turkey.
Thank you. So actually, I have a second question. Belize, can I ask, or if someone else has questions, I will stop.
Let's ask. If anyone else has a question? Nope. So you can ask one last question.
Okay. So, Janer, you mentioned about creating the company, the headquarter, let's say, in the US. While I was listening to legal advices from Y Combinators, some legal advisors, they mentioned that any employee in the startup should have officially get salaries, and these salaries would be based on minimum US wage. So, and here, starting in Turkey, the pricing would be based on Turkish economical levels. And how would I have salaries paid in the US basis while my earnings are based on Turkish economy?
I mean, I have 0 clients who give US salaries, like 0. So and also you don't, I mean, in US law, there's a good mechanism which is called independent contractors. So if you're hiring people from US to your US company, like US residents, like US based people, it's a different story. But I assume you will have people in Turkey, wherever. So yeah, I mean, Y Combinator isn't really nice, but sometimes they have no idea about other jurisdictions. So yeah, it's just, yeah. no, you don't need to bother about that. But as long as it's legally sound and as long as your contractors paying their taxes, their income, so yes, it's
Okay, thank
possible
you.
to not pay US wages, let's say, right?
Okay, thank you.
So this is the end of the session. Thank you for your time, mentors. We really appreciate your support.
Maybe we can take a
Yeah.
screenshot before we leave.
Okay.
And if our other founders open their cameras, Şebnem. Okay, I'm taking. Oh, thank you, Daria. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
So thank you, all of you, both
Thank you.
founders and mentors.
Yeah, this was
Cheers.
amazing.
Good
It was
night.
fun.
And one last thing. Hisham, do you need our founders' emails to share your documents, or how should we proceed?
I can send you the link and you could send it to them, and you'll just have to click request, and then I'll.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you.
send it with us as well. That was amazing. They're really cool. Thanks. I'm gonna steal your save template. We are gonna steal.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye
Thank
bye
you.
all.